Hello, everybody. Welcome to another great day of SSL Soccer. My name is Buenos, and I am coming at you solo today as we have some Division 1 action, Matchday 3. I've now just realized that when I say SSL Soccer, I'm very much doing a ATM machine situation, and I'm wondering if that's something I'm going to have to correct in the future. But anywho, we have some very exciting games. Reykjavik, Buenos, Catalunya, Sao Paulo versus Inter London, and Romana versus Tokyo. If you haven't looked at the standings right now, Reykjavik and Sao Paulo currently sitting at the top of the standings with 6 points each, 2 points in each of their, or 2 wins in each of their. They won both of their first games. First cast of the year for me, please. So they both have the same goal differential, too. I believe Reykjavik is only up on goals scored, having scored 4 goals to Sao Paulo's 3. But we're going to get to our first game. That is Reykjavik versus Paris. AS Paris, as you know, blitzed through Division 2 last season to get themselves back up into Division 1. I'm going to apologize in advance. It is very heavily storming where I am. So if some thunder comes over the cast, I apologize. You see a 4-3-3 from AS Paris. I believe that was a 4-2-3-1 that I caught, but I could be wrong from Reykjavik. As you see, there is our table as the teams are coming out, and we are ready to get underway here in Reykjavik. As we have Lynn going over to Horvath Snooks. Back over to Lind, to Black. They're going to go all the way back to Barfoot. As here's had the ball over to Horvath for Isabella Cortez. Cortez takes it into the attacking third, trying to get around Didi Joker. Finds a way around. Big slide, but that's going to be a corner kick. Set piece opportunity for Paris here early in this first minute, as that's Brisky to take the corner. Looks middle, but it's headed away by one Ricky Bobby. As you see Brisky going over to Heather Bull now. Bull going back to Brisky. Brisky going way back to midfield, and it's going to be intercepted by Ricky Bobby, but recovered anyway by Paris. We jump now to the second minute, still only in the second minute of this game. As that's going to be taken off the chest by Alistair, just kicks it off of Letitia. Reykjavik with the recovery of the loose ball. As Andrews goes deep looking for Caswell, finds Caswell, who fires and scores! Sneaks it past Barfoot from outside the box. And that's going to put Reykjavik up 1-0 in the third minute. My goodness, what a shot. That came from nowhere. As you see, Caswell goes over to Andrews. Andrews gets it back to Caswell, just got snuck past Washburn and just takes a deep shot. That's a goal. That is indeed a 4-2-3-1 from Reykjavik that I did finally get a second look at. 5th minute now. The action not slowing down just yet. Here's Letitia going back into Andrews to Rashford. Rashford fires, and that's over Barfoot's head, but actually, Barfoot might have tipped it. I couldn't quite tell what happened. All I know is that Reykjavik has a corner out of it. As here's Letitia to take the corner. It's going to be headed away, picked up by Tata Yore. And that's all we're going to get to see of here. As we go over to Leonidas Papadopoulos trying to set up an equalizer for Paris. 8th minute. Here's Henrik Lind over to Black. Over to Stooks going deep looking for Heather. Bull finds Bull. Bull fires. It's saved by Scott Sterling. The man, the myth, the legend. 9th minute now. Throw in from Letitia as they go deep. They find Caswell. Diving save by Barfoot. And now the action's going to calm down a little bit. Lots of shots in those first 10 minutes. But now things are coming to a slowdown. As here's Sterling. They're playing it out of the back, but that's going to be picked up by Ricky Bobby. Trying to round around Brisky, but Brisky staying hot on his tail, goes for the cross, maybe looking for Casual, but it's going to be headed away by Lind, but recovered by Reykjavik as we go over to Scarpetta. Scarpetta to Yore. Yore to Casual. Casual to Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby fires and saved, and then cleared out by Snooks. Here's Letitia on the throw-in the 24th minute now we're just crossing into. Snooks on the interception. Goes back to Barfoot. It's risky pass to Lind. And they'll even do it again. As here's Andrews to Oak to Rashford. Rashford in the box. Tries to find Andrews behind him. Andrews marked very tightly by Snooks. Gets it to Letitia. Letitia to Rashford. Rashford. Stolen by Black, but still. Oh, that's a penalty. That's a penalty. You can't do that in the box. As here's Casual to take the penalty, lines up, Barfoot's ready, fires, scores, and it's 2-0 Reykjavik. As Charles Andrew Simon Utley Abara Lunga converts the penalty. Barfoot guesses right, but dives a little too hard. Whew. What a start we've had to this match now. So there's Lind over to Horvath. To Papadopoulos. Going over to Isabella Cortez. Fires! It's off the post! Beats Sterling, but can't beat the woodwork. Whew, now we all have a minute to breathe. Never mind. No, we don't. Here's Letitia on the throw into Oak. Going forward to Andrews, but picked up by Letitia again. Letitia trying to get around Alistair, but can't. And now it's going to be intercepted, but given right back to Reykjavik. As here is Joker. Joker going in for Rashford. It's and now throw in from Brisky over to Cortez. Cortez, Brisky can't quite get around Joker. Looked for Papadopoulos in the box, but it's headed out 30. We're crossing into the 39th minute now. Here's Horvath going over to Alistair. It's tipped over by Sterling. And here is the corner to be taken by Brisky, looking for Alistair. They find Papadopoulos right on the very edge of the line. That's a good tackle by Scarpetta. Alistair looking for, Papadopoulos was looking for Alistair on the cross. But it got headed away. It's picked up by Washburn. Going over to Papadopoulos again. And that is an offside for Leonidas Papadopoulos. And is that going to be what takes us to the half? Of course it's not. Here's Letitia on a throw-in to Andrews. Almost sends it back out of bounds, but Letitia with the long cross to Ricky Bobby. He finds and scores! And that's 3-0. A back-breaking goal for Reykjavik right before the half. Letitia keeps it in bounds, goes for the long cross to the far post to Ricky Bobby, and Ricky Bobby is famous for doing exactly what he just did there. We're still not at the half. Another opportunity with Letitia. Looks for Bobby again, and he finds him. I thought he just wants to replay, but it's not. It's 4-0 Reykjavik, who was just pouring it on. It's the same thing. Letitia on the throw-in gets it back to Letitia, who goes for that same long cross to that same far post for Ricky Bobby. Those lines are close. But it doesn't matter. Bobby converts it again. Oh my goodness. As that will take us to the half finally. And a game that looked very close for the first 20 minutes has just been absolutely blown open in stoppage time. See if any substitutions are coming in. Does not look like it. And we are off to the second half. And we're getting the second half started. Oh, Barfoot almost let the ball go over his head. That could have been very awkward. As here's Andrews going over to Letitia. Finds Casual. Oh, and that's saved by Barfoot. Kept in bounds by Brisky. No corner kick for you, Reykjavik. As Barfoot takes it off the chest. Kicks back out. Finds Snooks to Horvat. Looking deep for Papadopoulos. But it's going to be intercepted, given to Yore, given to Casual. He's going to pop it up in the air, and Barfoot will just snatch it out. Here is Joker on the throw-in. Ricky Bobby over to the diver. Going deep, looking for Casual, looking for the hat trick, but can't quite find it, but does find Ricky Bobby, who's also on hat trick watch of his own. So you see there, Casual, 2 goals, Ricky Bobby, 2 goals, both of them now right in the thick of the Golden Boot race. So here's Andrews. It's going to take it off of Alistair's head. Lind, Brisky, Casual almost gets the easiest goal of his life, but no, it's going to be denied. And time's starting to tick by here for Paris. Paris, you got to at least try to salvage some goal differential. 4-0 is comeback is a little out of the cards right now. But you got to at least try to salvage some sort of goal differential if you're AS Paris. As we cross the 80-minute mark. And now nothing really doing here. As that's going to be given to Casual over to Andrews. 89th minute. Here's Oak going back to Letitia. Letitia goes for the long cross to Ricky Bobby. Went for it again. Went for almost the same picture-perfect shot. As here's a free to be taken by Rashford. It's going to be cleared out. Picked up by Heather Bull going forward to Leonidas Papadopoulos. Papadopoulos taking it up that flank, up the right side. Blocked by Joker. Recovered by Papadopoulos, though. Tries to go back to Brisky. It's intercepted by Ricky Bobby. They're going to get it over to Miko Rashford, who goes back to Bobby, and they're going to play a little bit of back and forth. We are now in stoppage time. Only about 40 seconds to go in this game. Here's Joker on the cross. No. Picked up by Brisky. We go over the Bull, over the Black. Washburn goes out deep. Maybe looking for Papadopoulos, but it ends up only at the feet of Scarpetta as Rashford goes forward to Joker. Joker going towards the box. Black with an amazing block to keep it the way it is. And that's final whistle blown. Reykjavik takes a huge 4-0 victory over AS Paris. You see 17 shots to 7, 11 on target to 3, 2.57 XG to 0.57. Reykjavik, a well-deserved victory this game. Absolutely wild. And then we kind of had the more calm second half. Sealand with the 7.0. Still, not bad days for Paris, but not great days either. But man, just look at that XG chart from right when that second goal was scored, because that was the penalty. And it's just up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Then it levels off after we get to halftime. So that's going to close the book on this first game. We're going to go to our second game of the night. That is Buenos Aires versus Catalunya. Both of these teams currently sitting at the bottom of the table, both with only 1 point. Catalunya with the -2 goal differential. Buenos Aires with the -5 goal differential, which is definitely surprising to see out of Buenos Aires. But we'll see if they can get themselves back on track and right the ship when we come back. Alrighty, welcome back. I do believe we are getting ready to get down onto the field for this second game of the day. Like I said, Buenos Aires versus Catalunya. Buenos Aires, the last time out in the league, drew in London. And Catalunya, we see Buenos Aires coming out in a 4-3-3. And Catalunya coming out also in a 4-3-3, but a little bit different of one. As you look at, there is our updated table. Catalunya last time out lost 2-0 to Reykjavik, which, with how Reykjavik has been playing, is an understandable loss here, as they're going to boom this out. This is going to be one of those games that's going to be fun to watch the uniforms as Bueno. Oh, that's off the post! Oakdale misses the save. But yeah, it's going to be a fun game to watch the uniforms, as one team is wearing red and yellow, and the other team is wearing yellow and red. So this will be fun. As we have Knight taking it across midfield, going deep for Franco Torres. Torres fires and misses. As here is Tali. Tali on the corner finds Catarina. And that's going to put Buenos Aires up 1-0 in only the 6th minute. I'm sorry, that wasn't off the corner. That was off a free. I stand corrected. They find Guevara, who finds Catarina. And that is a nice, easy lead from Buenos Aires. Now, can they hold on to it, as we have Mueller going over to Staines. Staines going back to Kennedy, over to Mojo Rising, but it's going to be stolen away by Ask Jeeves. Remember, Ask Jeeves, the official search engine of the SSL, #not sponsored. Why go to a search engine where you could have millions of pages at your fingertips when you could just ask an old man for his opinion, as that's going to be taken by Torres, and it's off the post! Here's Gorkov. That's going to be handled away. Oak down. Going deep. Finds... Look, they found Bruxpatron. But it'll be intercepted by Catalunya. Cleared out. Picked up by Muir. Muir going deep for Dogwood Maple. Dogwood Maple fires, and Dogwood Maple scores! And it's 1-1. You see, Gunnarsson goes way out deep Was looking for Maple and actually found Guevara, but Guevara couldn't get it to a teammate as Mueller makes the interception off the Guevara header and does get it to Dogwood Maple, who was able to just get a shot right by Oaktown. And you see here with the formations that Buenos Aires looks like they're going for more people stacked in the in more of just the full midfield, while Catalunya is preferring to keep one of the midfielders back in the defensive midfielder position. Two centrals and a deep line playmaker for Buenos Aires as they look deep for Gorkov and the two strikers, as that's going to take us to the half. Tied 1-1, 11 shots to 5, but both teams only have 4 shots on target. So I hope you enjoyed that tactical analysis, because that's about the deepest tactical analysis you are ever going to get from me. Both teams enjoying the wingbacks, and even though Buenos Aires is running the inverted wingback. So go over to Gorkov to Tali. Back over the Gorkov to Penshaw. Tried to find Torres, intercepted by Ramos, but intercepted back. Now people just losing possession of the ball all over the place. They do find Knight, who finds Penshaw, and Paul Penshaw puts Buenos Aires up 2-1. And even does a cartwheel. You see Torres lost possession to Ramos, who lost possession to Brox Patron. They get it over to Vandersloot. Knight goes to the cross, finds Penshaw. The man marking him was not on the right side of him, unfortunately. As we find Knight going over to Vandersloot. Vandersloot going deep, looking for Franco Torres. Finds him. Bad challenge by Ramos, and Franco Torres will not miss that. And that is 3-1 Buenos Aires at home. So Vandersloot goes deep for Franco Torres. Ramos went for the challenge and missed. And that's just how it happens. As we go out deep, we find Ask Jeeves, 64th minute now, over to Emil Tali. Emil Tali going out deep for Torres into the attacking third. Rounds a couple men, fires, saved by Gunnarsson. As that's Gorkov off the corner, headed away by Okocha, but going to be recovered by Gorkov. And that's a big trip. But no card. As we join back now in the 78th minute, going over to Vandersloot, intercepted. Over to Dogwood Maple. Catalunya needs to get a goal on the board quickly if they want to try to equalize this game. Is there Wesley Staines? But no. It's saved by Oaktown. That's going to be a corner kick to be taken by Vins. And that's headed away. Yor goes into Vins again. And that's going to be offside by Vins. It doesn't look like Catalunya is going to get another chance to catch up, unfortunately, as that is full time. Buenos Aires takes the 3-1 victory over Catalunya. 26 shots. 12 on target. 2.96 XG to 0.81 for Catalunya, who do have 7 shots, 6 on target. A lot of fouls in this game. It was just Buenos Aires just really hammering that ideology of if you just keep shooting the ball in the direction of the net enough times, eventually it has to go in. Like statistics say that eventually it'll have to go in. Oh my goodness. Look at that steep XG chart right at that second and third goal. Whew. All right, so that's going to put a bow on the second game of the day. And we're going to head over to our third game, which is Sao Paulo versus Inter London. Sao Paulo, one of the teams I talked about at the top of the cast, sitting it towards the top of the table. They were currently behind on goals for. They are now behind on points and goal differential as Reykjavik put that hurting on AS Paris. So Sao Paulo wants to leapfrog Reykjavik. They're going to have to win by 5 here today, which is a tough task. In London, newly promoted, currently sitting 5th in the table with 1 point, -1 goal differential. They did draw Buenos Aires their last time out in their last league game, and fell to Reykjavik on match day 1, 2-1. So a tough schedule to start the season, but see if London can turn it around coming into this third game. As it sounds like people are getting onto the field, we're going to start to get ready for this game. Alrighty, players are starting to funnel onto the field as we see Sao Paulo coming out in a 5-3-1-1, maybe. Yes. In London coming out in the 4-2-3-1. DM AM wide. As we look at our updated table, like I said, Sao Paulo wants to leapfrog Reykjavik. They're going to have to win by 5. There's just one comically tall player who is taller than everyone else. I think that is Dexter Monone. We did see some movement from Inter London, at least, in the form of Jerry being shifted to attacking midfield on the left side, and Kay Clements put back at that striker position. So we'll see if that changes any of their fortunes as we are underway. And not a lot really happening. As you see, we've already in the 25th minute. That's going to be headed away, picked up by Manone, over to fall on the floor. You go over to Pinkman, over to Manone again. The floor going back to McGurk, over to Pinkman again. As Manone going forward for Kay Clements, finds Kay Clements in that poacher position, who finds Jerry, who scores! And that's 1-0 in London. Pinkman goes over to Manone, finds Clements deep in that poacher position, makes a wide cross to Jerry at the far post, who had snuck past Mayhem, and that's 1-0 for Inter London. Here's the 28th minute. We find Manone. It's going to be blocked by Thessenwitz after the throw-in, picked up by Dives in a lot. Dives in a lot, going back over to the floor, looking for Manone. No, that's going to be offside on the part of McGurk. So Anderson will take it out off the free kick. Here's Owen 44. Owen 44 is stuck past everybody, but can't get a clear shot. Goes to the cross. It's going to be headed away. No, missed header. Picked up by Funyuns. The official snack of the SSL has himself a goal. Hashtag not sponsored. It's 1-1 in the 29th minute. As you see, 44 can't quite make it around Donnarumma. Goes for the higher-ish cross. Dives in a lot, misses the header. Picked up by Funyuns, who just gets it in past the Heretic. And now we're all square 33rd minute now. Going over to Funyuns again. Going deep, looking for Owen 44. 44 takes it into the box. Tries to go to Newman again. It's off the post. It's going to be picked up by DeFleur. Now, everything slows down. And that will be the half. A 1-1 draw presently at halftime. 5 shots to 3 in favor of Sao Paulo. 2 on target to 1. Again, in favor of Sao Paulo. XG pretty close, 0.54 to 0.33. So we'll see if any changes are coming for either team as we are underway in the second half here. As here is Millar going over the dives and a lot to fall on the floor. Over to Manone. Just kind of back heel passes it back to the floor. And they're going to go a little bit of back and forth as they look for a way in. Can't quite find one. Awkward header picked up by Anderson. Cleared out. But possession taken back by Inner London. Goes over to Pinkman, who kicks it off of Ramirez. It's going to be picked up by Funyuns. Funyuns going towards that back line. Goes for the cross, and it's going to go in from Jeff Newman. I'm not quite sure what happened there. Looks like Funyuns went for a cross. We'll see if we can get a better angle of this shot. Funyuns goes for that back line, gets it for the low cross. It does get off the head of Newman, who just barely ekes it into the goal. But it doesn't matter how barely you eke it in. All that matters is that you get it in. So 2-1 Sao Paulo. And then we go to the 61st minute. That's going to be a throw-in. Was looking for Pinkman, but it was intercepted immediately. As here's England. Over to Anshaw. Pinkman not playing too crazily aggressive on trying to get that ball from Anshaw, so they kind of get a free pass back and forth. That's going to be intercepted by Jerry. Jerry goes forward to Walter Pinkman. Goes back to Howd. Howd can't find his way around Mayhem. Goes back to Millar. Goes for the long cross to McGurk. McGurk finds Howd open again over to Jerry. Jerry gets inside. Goes back to Clemens, who fires. It's saved. Kept in bounds by Manone. Manone keeps it in the box, but loses possession to Anshaw. And that is going to be that opportunity for that moment. As here's Anshaw on the throw. Anshaw going over to Ramirez. Looking for Arasov, but that is offside. And now here's Arasov again. Arasov going for the long cross, looking for Owen 44. But nothing doing here. As here's Thessenvit. Towards that back line, going for the cross. Missed header again. Finds Arasov, and Arasov scores! A back-breaking goal. As Sao Paulo goes up 3-1 with 10 minutes to go. Thessenvit goes for that long cross. Missed header by 44, but recovered by Arasov, who just barely... Again, it doesn't matter how close it is to being out. Once you get it in, that's all that matters. Once it's past that line, in the goal, doesn't matter how close it was. 89th minute. Corner kick to be taken by Funyuns, as that's going to be headed away by Dives and a lot. Clements wins the race to the ball with England. Goes over to Jerry, back to Clements. Over to Howd. To Pinkman. Pinkman taking it towards that back line. Goes for the long cross. It's headed over the crossbar. Here is Anderson. Anderson going out deep. Goes to Pinkman, over to Manone. Manone goes back to McGurk. McGurk tries to go inside, but no. Finds fall on the floor. Over to Pinkman. To Millar. They're trying to find their way back in. They find Jerry. That's offside on Jerry's part. And I think that's going to do it for this game. No, we're still going over a little bit longer. All right, here's Ruma over to McGurk. There's the whistle. As Sao Paulo takes a 3-1 victory over Inner London. As you see, London outshoots them 12-9, but Sao Paulo more methodical with their shots. 5 on target to 4. 1.10 XG to 0.77. Very close game. Deserved win from Sao Paulo. But just an unfortunate bounce that way for Inner London. But congrats to Sao Paulo for keeping pace with Reykjavik. Now just a little bit behind on goal differential, but still keeping pace with the point values, sitting at 9 points each. And let me see, while we're waiting for our next game, I'm intrigued to see who their next opponents are. And I'm also intrigued to see when the Reykjavik Sao Paulo game is. Reykjavik Sao Paulo. Reykjavik plays Romana next week. Sao Paulo, or next match day, I should say. Sao Paulo will play Catalunya match day 4. It is match day 6. Is Reykjavik Sao Paulo 1 in Reykjavik? But for now, we'll go to our final game of the day. It is AC Romana versus Tokyo. Tokyo currently sitting 3rd in the table with 3 points, plus 4 goal differential. And Romana sitting in 6th with 1 point and the minus 2 goal differential. So a lot of things can happen here. A lot of movement can happen. Tokyo can kind of firmly put themselves in 3rd place with a win here, considering that Paris lost. Romana can get themselves away from that drop zone with even a draw here. As Buenos Aires jumped out of the drop zone today. But Inner London and Catalunya are still sitting on 1 point. Granted, it's match day 3. We have 11 match days after this to worry about drop zone, but every game does matter when you're trying to avoid that relegation. So it sounds like the teams are just about on the pitch. You see AC Romana coming out in the 4-2-3-1. And Tokyo is coming out in the 4-2-2-2. 2-2-2-2. As you see, there is the live update of our table. As the teams are looking to come out of the tunnel. And we are underway with AC Romana versus Tokyo. As here is Rube in the 6th minute to get us going with the first action that we will see here today. King and Levert trying to get in on the playing it out of the back action. But nothing to be doing here. As Tokyo retains possession, Rube goes out deep. Was looking for Hayden, but no. So here's Powdered Toastman going over to Smart, to Matthew, over to one of the Uniao. Over to Matthew again, over to Uniao. And that's going to be blocked by Nessie. Kept in bounds by Anna Vieira. Over to Levert. Can't quite find a free shot, but goes over to Nunez. It's off the post. But kept in bounds again. Kicked off of Nessie. Recovered by Soderberg. And that's going to end that opportunity for just that moment. But what an exciting minute that was, as Asagi freely gives up possession on a really unfortunate pass. And now Rube's going to try to clear it back out. And that's all we're going to get to see. As now we have a long throw from Nessie, as that's going to be taken by Campbell Otto over to Levert. Levert going over to Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger taking it on the very edge of the box, trying to get around Visser, but can't. Over to Kemalatu, to Matthew, back to Schweinsteiger. King, they can't quite break their way into the box, but now they do. It's shot by Levert and saved by Rube, and that's going to be a corner to be taken by Anavier, as that's going to be headed away by Touchette. That's going to be a throw-in. Throw-in we will not get to see. As here's Matthew, gives up possession. Picked up by Tokyo, going over to Skyrise. Skyrise into the box all alone. Fires and misses. That is not the expected result when you have someone like Skyrise get a shot like that. Clear-cut chance. Here is Rube. Over to Touchette, to Versetti. Going over to Nessie. Finds Guerra. Soderberg. Soderberg goes back to Versetti. Finds Nessie. Skyrise to Asagi. Asagi going deep, looking for Kaido, but it's intercepted. And away, here's King. King going to Schweinsteiger, who was in the box at the start of this, now finds Kemalatu into the box. Matthew tries to sneak one past with the slow shot. Bugs Bunny slow ball right there, but no goal. 26th minute now. Matthew going over to Nunez. Finds Kemalatu. Over to Levert, who got past Rube and scores! Rube went to go dive for the ball. Levert won the foot race and is able to just blast one past. Oh my goodness, that was a half second away from just being a casual, ball pickup opportunity. Those lines not particularly close, but, Big goal for AC Romana, as that's going to be headed away. Picked up by King. Going over to Matthew to Toastman. Toastman to Anavier to Matthew. Back over to King. King back to Matthew. Over to Kemalatu. Kemalatu back to Matthew. Over to Levert. Levert, Anavier. It's off the post. Here is Anavier. It's going to be headed away. Here's Nunez on the throw. Bad throw. Picked up by Hayden. Rise. Fires. It's out of play. That's a goal kick. And we're still going. 39th minute. Kemalatu over to Smart to Nunez. They need to get it out of their own zone. They go to play down the back. That's going to be cleared out. Over to Matthew, to King. Matthew going deep, looking for I don't even know who, but picks up by Nessie. Over to Versetti. Versetti going forward to Soderberg, to Nessie again. Nessie trying to get it past that midfield line. Will do so. Gets it over to Guerra. Guerra going towards that back corner, looking for maybe a long cross. No, takes a short pass to Hayden, who goes over to Soderberg. Soderberg goes for the long cross. It's headed by Shinji Kaido, and that's going to be a goal. And we are all square at 1. In the 40th minute. As you see, Guerra finds Hayden. And Soderberg went for the long cross, finds Kaido, who barely beats Nunez on the header. And now that's 40. Well, that's the half. See a very even game right now. AC Romana and Tokyo tied 1-1 right now. 8 shots to 8. 5 on target in favor of Tokyo to 4. Yet, oddly enough, despite having less shots on target, AC Romana nearly doubled the XG of Tokyo, which is very interesting to see. As we hit that second half, it does not look like we had any substitutions. Schweinsteiger. That's going to be cleared out. We had a small bit of a scuffle. There's Camelatu who fires, but no, misses. Nessie to Soderberg. On the throw, going deep, looking for Hayden. No. Intercepted. But now taken back by Tokyo. We find Nessie. Nessie looking for Hayden. Scores! Sneaks it past Kerrigan. And that's 2-1 in favor of Tokyo. Greta goes over to Nessie, goes for the long pass to Hayden, who beats his man. Tokyo takes the 2-1 lead. Now we have a throw-in to be taken by Visser. Recovered by Romana. They're going to pass it over to Nunez. Nunez taking it up the pitch. Finds Anavier. Over to Matthew. Finds Anavier again. Going to be blocked, but then fired by Tyson King. And that's a goal. No, it's not. It's disallowed. Who is offside here? Oh, it's Anavier. Yeah, they're offside by quite a bit. Fair play. As here is Rube. Trying to clear it out. It got to Toastman, but Toastman ended up heading it back to Tokyo. That's going to be picked up by Shinji Kaido. Shinji Kaido to that back line, looking for Asagi. Asagi into the box, back over to Kaido. As that's going to be Skyrise! Off the header. And now a game that just a minute ago we thought was going to be 2-2 is now 3-1 in favor of Tokyo. As you see, Kaido finds Asagi in the box and then just puts it up for Rise to win the header over Toastman and Kerrigan. And now here we are just seconds later on the kickoff. Toastman going deep for Matthew. Looking for Anavier, finds Nunez. Nunez goes to the long cross to the far post of Schweinsteiger. Schweinsteiger over to Matthew. No. And now time starting to tick by for AC Romana. Could be the final minutes, and I think that is indeed full time as Tokyo takes a 3-1 victory over AC Romana. Romana has 14 shots to Tokyo's 13. Tokyo has 8 on target to Romana's 5. But again, Romana, the 2.27 XG to Tokyo's 1.53. Romana got to feel a little gypped in this game. 11 corners to 2. But Tokyo just took their opportunities and made the most of it. The offside goal was an unfortunate momentum swing as Tokyo went up, and AC Romana almost immediately answered, only for it to get called offside, and then Rise able to get that what was really the dagger in the 72nd minute. But, it was still a game that I think was a lot closer than the scoreline intended. I could see this game ending as a draw. I could see this game ending in AC Romana's favor. But in the way that it happened, in the way the cards fell, it goes to Tokyo, and take nothing away from Tokyo. Like I said, they made the most of their opportunities. And at the end of the day, that's really what you have to do when you play soccer. So, but that is going to wrap up this match day. I'm expecting that we will be seeing the table in just a moment, but Reykjavik over Paris, Buenos Aires over Catalunya, Sao Paulo over London, and Tokyo over Romana, as there is our table. Tokyo puts themselves up to 6 points to kind of put them more firmly in third place, and that bottom half of the table is it's going to be something. It's going to be a dogfight for relegation this year. And teams just kind of have to be ready for it. And we'll see what happens. But that's going to do it from me if you stuck it out through all 4 games. As always, I very much appreciate you hanging out with me tonight. It was quite the day of football. And I think it's going to set us up for an exciting season. But until next time, I've been Zenlos, and I hope you all have a fantastic night. Good night.